assuming you guys have read the title to this video, yes, it's true. I have a hernia, an inguinal hernia, and I will need to surgically repair it. I don't even know how to dive into this. One day, a little over, probably about a month and a half ago at this point, I was getting out of the shower. I had just working out, grabbing my towel, and I see myself in the mirror, and there's a bulge right by my hip. I didn't feel anything. It didn't hurt or anything like that, and I just kind of, pressed on it a little bit and it went away. My first reaction was, oh gosh, I have a hernia. I didn't really pay much attention to it just because it didn't hurt, it didn't bother me or anything like that. But then later in the day, it started hurting really bad. Really weird, dull pain there in my lower right abdomen. Later it got down into the scrotal or testicular region, the pain, and I had really sharp pain in that area to the point where I almost thought I was gonna pass out. It was one of the worst pains that I felt. I felt sick to my stomach. I felt like I was gonna throw up. But then gradually that pain started to subside. When that pain was going on, I texted my mom and I was like, Mom, I think I have a hernia. And she was like, oh no. Like she was so concerned. After that, we scheduled an appointment with my doctor. I had a consultation with him, told him what was going on. He had to feel around, kind of check out what was going on, and he said, yep, more than likely you have a hernia, but we're gonna get some imaging done to confirm that it's actually there. I set up an appointment a couple weeks later at an imaging center. I get an ultrasound done. I'm pregnant. I was having a good time with it. Probably 30 minutes to an hour after I get the ultrasound, I get a call from my doctor. It's confirmed. You have an inguinal hernia with part of the bowel protruding. With a hernia, what happens is you either have like part of your intestine or some fat that pushes through the fascia of the muscle, and it can lead to the intestine or the bowel or whatever it is to kind of die off, because as it kind of pushes through, it loses blood supply, and that is not a good situation at all. In an inguinal hernia, what can happen is the part of the intestine can go down the inguinal canal into the scrotum, where the testicles are, twist up in the spermatic cord, and you can lose a testicle. So my doctor pretty much said what we can do here is you can leave it untreated. A lot of people live with hernias and a lot of people don't have many issues with it. If you want, we can leave it untreated, but if it does get to the point where it is protruding and it won't go back in, or it mixes up with that spermatic cord, you can either lose a testicle or part of your intestine, and both of those would require emergency surgeries. And being the active individual that I am, and loving to weightlift and all that kind of stuff, I said, yeah, I think we need to get this, I think we need to get this worked out. So I scheduled a consultation with a surgeon. With her, she looked over the imaging and was like, yeah, you've got a hernia. Here's how we can repair it. So I have my surgery scheduled for October 20th. And I figured in today's video, I'm just going to outline what is going to happen. During this entire process, what I'm going to do is I'm going to document my journey through this process, because I think it'll be interesting to see kind of the regression that I take and the progression after the fact that I have the surgery. And so here is my hernia surgery / recovery video series. I need a better title, so if you have a better title in mind or something catchy or something like that, leave it in the comments. Let's go over these operation notes together, shall we? Groin hernia repair. That's fun. I will be getting it repaired laparoscopically. That's a tongue twister. Hernias are very common in both men and women. Men tend to get more inguinal hernias. Women tend to get more femoral hernias. What they're going to do is they're going to do a laparoscopic repair. which means the surgeon will make several punctures or incisions in the abdomen. My surgeon said that she will make 2 incisions right at like the V line, kind of like where the hip bone is a little bit, and 1 in the belly button. What they're going to do is then pump me full of gas, kind of like a balloon, and they're going to go in and put a mesh in where the hernia is, to kind of close it up. This is me reading the definition of a laparoscopic hernia repair. The surgeon will make several small punctures or incisions in the abdomen. Ports or hollow tubes are inserted into the openings. The abdomen is inflated with carbon dioxide gas to make it easier to see the internal organs. Surgical tools and laparoscopic light are placed into the ports. The hernia is repaired with a mesh and sutured or stapled back into place. The repair is done as a transabdominal pre-peritoneal procedure, which means the peritoneum, or the sac that contains all of the abdominal organs, is entered, or the repair is done totally extraperitoneal. So they're going into my abdomen, inflating me like a balloon, and closing up the hernia. In terms of recovery time, what this means is I will be in a lot of pain afterwards, a couple days afterwards. My surgeon said it usually takes about 1 to 2 weeks to recover from the surgery itself, and then about 4 weeks after that having a strict lifting restriction of 10 pounds or less. Pretty much like I wouldn't even be able to like carry a backpack around, so I'll have to be very careful about that. In terms of the risks, wound infection has a very small percent chance. Complications from the surgery has a 1.2% chance. Pneumonia, 0.1% chance of happening. UTI, 0.1% chance. Venous thrombosis, 0.1% chance. And death, less than 1%. So I'm liking my odds here. Other risks from outcomes. Chronic pain, 10 to 12% may have pain after a year of the surgery, and it's potentially less for a laparoscopic repair. Hernia reoccurrence is 10.1% chance. Neuralgia or nerve pain causing a tingling or a numbness has a 7.4% chance of occurring. Seroma, or a collection of clear or yellow fluid, has an 8% chance of occurring. And hematoma, or a collection of blood in the wound site or the scrotum, has a 2.2% chance of occurring. So very low chance for any of those complications happening. But as I said, I'm going to be documenting this entire journey, and we'll see what happens. The day of the operation, I can't eat or drink anything before midnight, and I believe my operation is in the afternoon, so that's going to be rough. In terms of activity, so this is the one that's kind of concerning me. Just slowly increasing your activity over time. Be sure to get up and walk every hour or so to prevent blood clots after the surgery. Patients usually take 2 to 3 weeks to return comfortably to normal activity. I'd be able to go home the same day after the hernia repair. If I have any other health conditions or complications, then I may need to stay in the hospital longer. Returning to work or school, I may return to work or school 1 to 2 weeks after the laparoscopic or open repair, as long as you don't do any heavy lifting. I'll have to talk to my surgeon about this one. Do not lift items heavier than 10 pounds or participate in strenuous activity for at least 4 to 6 weeks. There may be a lifting limitation up to 6 months for complex or recurrent hernia repairs. So that's not me, but I am a little worried. So to put it into perspective, a gallon of milk is approximately 9 pounds. So I can't really lift any more than like a gallon of milk. It's gonna be tough. My biggest concern with this is not really being able to lift weights or exercise for about a month after the surgery. Last time I wasn't really able to be active like that, playing sport or working out like that. I went into a depressive state. I was not in a good state of mind. So that's my concern. I'm going to try and do all the right things, stay moving. I'm supposed to walk very frequently, but I'm going to try and stay active in that manner. I'm going to try to keep my mind busy by working, doing schoolwork, all that kind of stuff. I'm still going to do my virtual personal training, all that kind of stuff. So I'm just gonna try and stay busy, kind of distract myself from the fact that I won't be as active as I have been. And as an exercise addict, I think it's gonna be tough. I think it's gonna be tough, but I think I have a good support system in my family and my friends to the point where I don't think there will be any problems with it. But like I said, I'm going to document my entire journey here. So if you have not already, feel free to subscribe, like this video. Another thing that I'm going to do with this series is I'm going to take a picture every day of my body post-surgery, because I want to see what happens that 4 weeks I'm not allowed to lift. See what happens in terms of body composition. Another thing I'll do is I'll take an in-body scan or a body composition measurement before the surgery and then 4 weeks after, and see what happens to my muscle mass, my fat mass, all that kind of stuff. So I think it'll be an interesting thing to see. And I'm kind of using this as a human case study, so to speak. So I'm really going to be working hard. Once I am cleared to lift weights, I'm going to work my way back into it gradually, obviously, and kind of start from square one from that perspective. So if you are ready to start yourself, I would encourage you to start with me once I get back, and let's do it together. So yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that I will be getting hernia repair surgery in October. I am nervous, I am anxious, but I think it'll be an interesting process, and I'm here to document it all with you guys. So we'll see you guys for the next video. I'll see you guys. Have a great day.